welcome here. Only kindness is welcome here. Only kindness is welcome here. Only kindness, yes, loving kindness. Only kindness is welcome here. So bring your pain, bring your pain, bring your sorrow, bring your sorrow, bring your hope, and bring your fear. And we'll wrap our loving arms around you, because only love is welcome here.
Is where we give you the permission you may not have given yourself to show up and be your most authentic self. You can cry here. You can take your time here. To be you is not a crime here. We are all divine here. We shine brighter when we all shine here. We rise higher when we all rise here. We practice being kind here. We celebrate the fact that we are still alive here. Love, only love is welcome here. You can make mistakes here. No guilt, blame, or shame here. There's only grace here. We know you by your name here. We've been waiting for you. So glad you came here. We hope that you stay here. All that you can be reclaimed and embraced here. Only love is welcome here.
Oh, so bring your pain, bring your sorrow, bring your hope, and bring your fear. And we'll wrap our loving arms around you, because love is welcome here.
Here is where we give you the permission you may not have given yourself to show up and be your most authentic self.
Only love. Only love is welcome here. Only love.
Only love is welcome here.
What a beautiful invitation. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to you who are here in person. Welcome to you on Zoom. Welcome to the Boulder Valley Unitarian Universalist Fellowship on this sunny, foggy, slippery, snowy morning. We're so glad you're here. I'm Gloria Pearlstein, your service associate for today, and my pronouns are she and her. Today's music is provided by our wonderful chamber choir. You've already heard them, under the direction of music director Tad Korieth, and with musicians Jeremy Dion and Mark Hughes. Today's tech team is Deborah Mensch, Paula Zimmerman, and Charlie Morris, who is Zoom hosting for the very first time today. Welcome, Charlie. And today we give a special welcome to Reverend Terry Schwartz, our incoming transition minister. Reverend Terry will be leading 2 services a month here through July and will be providing pastoral care. Reverend Terry is the founder and principal of Spirit and Strategy, a pastoral counseling, coaching, and consulting practice. She's a graduate of Harvard Divinity School and Brown University, and she has served as a senior congregational minister and as a professional chaplain in hospitals, hospice, palliative care, and to UU seminarians. We're very grateful to have her with us today. So thank you. As I say the welcome words today, I invite those of you on Zoom to shift into gallery mode if you haven't already, and scroll through the screens so that you can see the beautiful people in this congregation. Those of you who are here, just look around and see, again, all the beautiful congregation and the everyone who made it here this morning. You are all welcome here today. In the beauty of languages, cultures, skin tones, shapes and sizes, gifts and challenges that come together in your uniqueness, you are welcome here. In all the ways you experience and express gender, you are welcome here. In the beauty that is who you love and how you love, you are welcome here. In all the ways you make your living and the places you are from, you are welcome here. With all the traditions that inform your spiritual life, you are welcome. No matter how long you are away or how soon you return, you are welcome here. And whether you come with laughter in your heart today or tears, you are welcome. You are invited to join us with a curious mind, a loving heart, and a willing spirit. We welcome you today. If you're new, we're glad you found us and hope that in this community, whether you're here in person or on Zoom, you can experience the love and the warmth of this congregation. Please come back a few times to really get to know us. And we have many opportunities during the week for social connection and spiritual growth. If you're on Zoom, you can check out the links in the chat to help you get connected. And if you're here in person today, you can stop by the welcome table in our foyer for fellowship information and our newcomer form. And that form is also in the QR code in the back of our gray hymnal. If you're joining us on Zoom, please feel free to greet each other in the chat. And if you're a newcomer, please let us know so that we can say hello. We love to know who's among us. Everyone on Zoom is welcome to stay for casual conversation after the service. And if you're here in person, you are welcome to coffee hour in the fellowship hall. We will be having a special welcoming reception today for Reverend Terry. And now, if you're in the sanctuary, please take a moment to greet your neighbor. Welcome. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, ding, ding. I know you could visit much longer, but you will have time to do that after the service. And now, Reverend Terry will say our opening, our chalice lighting words.
Boulder Valley UU Fellowship, it's good to be with you this morning. Thank you for your gracious welcome. Look, I didn't really get to do the welcome with all of you just now. We'll have some time. If you have a chalice at home, I invite you to light it with us as we light our fellowship chalice. So we know where all our chalices and people are, please write where you live in the chat. Join with me as we light our chalice. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of action. As I ring our bowl again, I invite you into the resonance of this space and of this time. These words from Carry On Warrior by Glennon Doyle. Here's the truth I've learned. You're not supposed to be happy all of the time. Life hurts and it's hard, not because you're doing it wrong, because it hurts for everybody. Don't avoid the pain, don't numb it, don't run from it. Pain is not a hot potato. It's a traveling professor. All the wisdom and courage you need to become the person you are meant to be is inside your pain. Be still with it. Let the pain come. Let it go. Let it leave you with the fuel you'll burn to get your work done on this earth.
We're going to have an opportunity to sing together here in your gray hymnal number 128, For All That Is Our Life. Again, in your gray hymnal, number 128, For All That Is Our Life, would you rise in body or spirit? For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift, which we are called to use to build the common good and make our
There's an old bluegrass song that starts like this. I'm going back to the country 'cause I can't pay my rent. Though I'm not exactly broke, brother, I'm sure bent. Can't understand where my money went. Now, I ain't broke, but I'm badly bent. So this song goes out of its way to deny the reality of being broke, being totally out of money. In a similar way, I tend to deny the possibility of being broken. When I read the description of Reverend Terry's planned talk for today, I found myself resisting. Why talk about brokenness? Why now? Is it because Reverend Lydia has left? My internal response was, despite that, our congregation is strong. It's not broken. We have challenges, but we're certainly not broken. So I expressed some of these reactions to Reverend Terry, and she asked a great question. What feelings were coming up for me around this topic? Well, as I thought about that and felt into the question, I realized that I simply don't want to see myself as broken. That doesn't match my ego's version of what I want to be. My ego wants to be competent, capable, on top of things, together. And I fear that admitting brokenness means being hopeless, shattered, and lost. I seem to have held on to this point of view, even though I have been quite broken at different times in my life. When I was in my 40s, for example, I fell on my chin, I broke my jaw in 4 places, and I broke many of my teeth. The jaw healed, the teeth were replaced. 3 years ago, I had major cancer-related surgery. And so many of you helped me through that time. Thank you for bringing meals, for taking me to doctor's appointments, sending cards and visiting and checking on me. And more thanks to everybody who helped when I broke my ankle in 2022. Thinking about those times, I see a need to revise and expand my views of brokenness. And I found really helpful guidance in the words of attorney Brian Stevenson, the founder and executive director of the Equal Justice Initiative in Montgomery, Alabama. Stevenson writes, "We are all broken by something. We all have hurt someone and have been hurt. But our brokenness is also the source of our common humanity, the basis for our shared search for comfort, meaning, and healing." He also writes, "There is power in brokenness. It's the broken among us who can teach us the way compassion works. It is the broken who understand the power of mercy. It is the broken who understand the power of justice. It is the broken who teach us how we love despite our brokenness. And I thank Brian Stevenson for these reminders that we all have times of breaking and mending, and that those times bring us together and open our hearts. Each week, we remind ourselves of the abundance of our lives and of this community by giving half of our plate away to those organizations that share our values. Today, the half plate is for Together Colorado, a multi-faith, multi-racial group that organizes to put human dignity at the center of our state's public life. Together Colorado works to expand affordable housing, climate justice, criminal justice, economic justice, healthcare, and immigration reform. This fellowship has been affiliated with and participated in and supported Together Colorado for about 15 years. And in fact, today at 2 o'clock, the fellowship is hosting Together Colorado's Boulder County Community Unity Celebration. That event will celebrate successes in and share strategies for affordable housing, mental health care access, and sustainable wages in Boulder County. There will be guest speakers, allied organizations, county officials, refreshments, and music, and everybody is welcome to attend, even if you haven't registered in advance. Meanwhile, you can text your donation at the number on the screen, or if you're at the fellowship today, you can put a donation in the offering plate as it passes. Please give generously as you so often do.
Do you ever wonder if there's something you can do to make this world a sacred space and live in truth? If you watch the birds, if you watch the bees, when you feel the sun, well, when you feel the breeze, you'll see they know what they're doing. You'll see. Oh, what about you?
What about you?
What about
What
you?
about you?
Can you feel what you're doing? Can you be what you're given? Step completely as a warrior of love. Walk with dignity. Fight for love. Step completely as a warrior of love. Walk with dignity.
Oh, you
Fight for love.
to fight
The
for love.
earth is calling all warriors. Dignity.
Oh, you
Fight for love.
got to fight
The
for
earth is calling all warriors. Dignity.
Oh, you
Fight for love. Now I know.
times can get real hard.
Are you
Willing to stand apart
from the mass that we have made? It's up to you. What will you create? When you keep the faith,
Oh, you got to
take the time to pray. Spirit in your head. step completely as a warrior of love.
Love.
Walk with dignity.
Oh, you
Fight for love.
got to fight
Step
for love.
completely as a warrior of love.
Love.
Walk with dignity.
Oh, you
Fight for love.
got to fight
The
for love.
earth is calling all warriors. Dignity.
Oh, you
Fight for love.
got to fight
The
for love.
earth is calling all warriors. Dignity.
Oh, you
Fight for love. I don't know how to love when all I see is hate. I don't know how to love when I feel so alone. I don't know how to love when all I see is hate. I don't know where to go when I feel so alone. I don't know how to love when all I see is hate. I don't know where to go when I feel so alone. I don't know how to love when all I see is hate. I don't know where to go when I feel so alone. Step completely as a warrior of love.
love.
Walk with dignity.
Oh, you
Fight for love.
got to fight for
Step
love.
completely as a warrior of love.
Love.
Walk with dignity.
Oh, you
Fight for love.
to fight for
Step
love.
completely is calling all warriors. Dignity.
Oh, you
Fight for love.
got to fight
The
for love.
earth is calling all warriors. Dignity.
Oh, you
Fight for love. The
earth
is calling all warriors.
earth is calling all the
Earth is calling all warriors. Oh, she is calling you. Earth is calling all warriors. Will you answer? Will you
earth is calling all the
Earth is calling all warriors. Fight for love. Thank you. For the work of this fellowship, bringing love, reason, compassion, and justice to this world, and for Together Colorado, we dedicate our offerings. Good morning, Paul. How are you today? Great. Wow. Elizabeth, good morning. It's nice to meet you. And how are you? Great. Is this performative or are you really great? Really great, okay. Nice to meet you. Whit?
Nice to meet you.
I'm Terry, and how are you?
Nice to meet you, Terry. I'm doing all right.
All right. Okay, I trust this a little more. Okay, I trust you. All right, so in our culture, when we meet people, we usually say we're doing okay. Hello, how are you? I'm fine. Well, I'm okay. Nice to meet you. The weather is very nice today.
There was a woman who met a new friend in church, not unlike you or me, introducing one another just like that. And they decided to go to a park for a play date for their kids and wanted to connect it. They sat on a bench. How are you? Fine. The woman suspected her new friend was having trouble with her marriage. They never talked about this. They talked about more important things, like soccer practice. The woman was frustrated. She thought of all the time lost in her life, time she built protective layers between her broken heart and the broken world. She realized she was sitting on the bench, but she wasn't really sitting with her friend at all. There were too many stories of their perfect lives, and it suddenly felt ridiculous. And how often do I find myself sitting in a pew, a row, a chair, and realizing I'm not really with the people next to me? She thought, what if I walked into the battlefields of life naked? What if I put down my guns? Would she do the same? She thought she'd try. Listen, I want you to know, she said, I'm a recovering drug, alcohol, and food addict. I've been arrested because of those things. Craig and I accidentally got pregnant and we got married. We love each other madly, but I'm terrified that our issues with sex and anger will screw things up. I snap at customer service people and my kids and my husband regularly. I feel sad and worried when good things happen to other people. And now I'm dealing with postpartum depression and just want my kids to leave me alone. My son brought me a note the other day that said, I hope mommy is nice today. It's depressing and scary, and I don't know if this feeling will ever go away, and maybe I just can't handle this, and I wanted you to know. Her friend looked at her for a long time, and she wondered if she'd call 911 or their minister. This is a good time. Call your minister. But then the tears started to flow. She told her everything. She decided she wanted help and love more than she wanted to seem perfect. A deep friendship grew. The woman saw her new friend through many tough times and eventually thrive. And she got to see the truth that set a family free. That's a story from Glennon Doyle. She started truth-telling with her blog, Momastery, which gained a huge audience and launched her career as a memoir writer and founder of a philanthropic nonprofit. A famous rabbi once said, the truth will set you free. The trouble is truth whether we like it or not. And the truth is we will all break in this life. Now, you and I don't have a lot of time together, about 6 months. And for practical purposes, and to just go naked out into the battlefields of life here, I'm going to tell you a few things that I've never told congregations before. I know this is kind of exciting, isn't it? Like, how risque is this going to be? I'm pre-fired, you know. I know y'all have done your work, a lot of work around mental illness. I lived with chronic mental illness and neurodivergence my entire life, from my earliest memories. And I have a degenerative connective tissue disorder that profoundly affects my eyes, ears, and joints. I usually don't lead with these things, and certainly have kept them private, mostly so I could get a job. They're progressive, though. And as I get older, progress in this way isn't actually a good thing. So it causes some, not all of my disabilities, mostly which are largely invisible, because I don't really present that way. So I'm going to give you this is my public service announcement for today. I'm hard of hearing, and you might not ever know it. I wear hearing aids, I supplement with lip reading, and I use closed captioning. I've lost a lot of my vision, all of my periphery, and the quality and acuity is dicey. I'm losing my ability to drive. This is not like a sad Reverend Terry show here. Why I'm telling you these specifics this morning is because we're going to go to coffee hour in not very long, and you may think I'm not paying attention to you. Generally, it's not because I'm trying to be an asshole. I probably cannot see or hear you. So lean with that and know that I very much want to know you're there, and I would like to connect with you. I kind of like to think like I'm a Victorian house or a vintage sports car. My husband and I decided as we move through the seasons of our lives, we can never buy a fixer-upper because I am the fixer-upper. I have my own budget line for repair and maintenance. And like the vintage home and car, I like to think that though I'm expensive, I am equally stunning and worth it. So I am a professional patient. I probably have about 20 different doctors right now that I see. And office hours to me usually are time in doctors' offices, and rather than Starbucks, that is my third place. I've had more eye surgeries than I can count, and about half as many orthopedic surgeries over the years. I think I'm up to about 11, 5 of which were joint replacements over the last decade or so, starting when I was 30. So I have spent a lot of time in physical therapy. A lot of time trying to prevent injury, a lot of time to recover from injuries, time to get strong enough to push off a surgery, time to recover from a surgery, and time to recover from the recovery from a surgery, which those of you who have had that experience know that surgeons lie. They lie. Because you put your foot up for 6 weeks, at the end of 6 weeks, you have lived in a chair for 6 weeks, and you have to recover from sitting in the chair for 6 weeks. Now, I like PT. I mean, it's a pain in the butt, don't get me wrong, and the appointment burden is just a bear. But there's a certain sense of community there. In one of the centers I went to, it was an open concept gym, and we were all there together doing our different exercises. And there were no illusions. We were all broken in some quantifiable, diagnosable way, a way that third-party payment and Medicare recognized. I always sign those disclosures that say, person responsible is me. It's a good reminder. So after an injury or a surgery, the body creates scar tissue. Flesh grows back, sometimes darker, raised. On horses, it's called proud flesh. Proud flesh, it's the badge the skin wears. It's stronger, which is good. The tissue is stiffer, though, which is not so good if it's a part of the body that's supposed to move. And so in joints, you practice bending over and over and over again to get more range of motion. And my physical therapist told me that I can only heal by breaking up the scar tissue. The scar tissue I just spent 6 weeks building. Breaking it up over and over again. The truth will set us free, sometimes even make us stronger. When my son Matthew was pretty young, he found my 3-pound hot pink barbells in the basement. And they'd gotten lonely under an end table for a little while, by which I mean 3 years. He recognized them and he didn't know the word for them, so he called them strengtheners. I like that. We go on day by day, lifting the weights of our lives, doing our reps, going to services, doing spiritual practices. Sometimes, not all times, burdens can be strengtheners. Also hoping to be a bit better and having better triceps. Gains era, I'm in. You lift, metaphorically and physically, with attention to form, attention to sensation, careful enough to sense good pain or bad pain. And if we're doing it right, we feel sore afterwards, in a good way. And if we lift weights that are too heavy for us or are not ours to bear, that's when we get hurt. It turns out that soreness is actually a bunch of tiny tears in the muscle tissue. It's through breaking those muscles and these tiny tears that the muscles say, hey, we gotta be stronger. Let's grow. Brokenness is a recurring theme in Judaism. The new year starts with the sound of the shofar, a broken note. The destruction of the temple, the broken matzah at Passover, the broken glass at a wedding, the unthinkable in the 20th century. At Mount Sinai, Moses received commandments from God. The story goes they were laws that were more about giving life, really, than prohibitions. He descended from the mountain where he saw his people dancing around a golden calf or an idol. Now, if you remember a little ways back, Moses had an anger problem, or perhaps he was maladapted to an unjust society, rightfully so. And either way, Moses killed the slave master in Egypt. So he was pretty pissed at his people. Like, after all of this time and the Exodus and wandering around, now you're doing this. So we fast forward to the next commercial break in Exodus, and Moses receives a set of new tablets. But what happened to the broken ones that he threw in anger and smashed to bits? Usually we bury broken things like we bury the dead. The Talmud is the collection of commentaries on the Hebrew scriptures. It says the broken tablets were not buried with the dead, but remained precious. And they were placed in the most sacred place of all, in the Ark of the Covenant, alongside the intact commandments. They remained safe as the nation of Israel wandered through the wilderness. And to take another step, mystical Judaism teaches that the Ark of the Covenant is a symbol of the human heart. So, there. In our hearts, brokenness and wholeness live side by side. We carry them wherever we go. The Hasidic rabbi Menachem Mendel of Koch said, "There is nothing more whole than a broken heart." There is nothing more whole than a broken heart. A while back, I heard the Lutheran pastor and ultimately a Universalist, Nadia Bolz-Weber, preach. You all may have known her back in the day, a local pastor in Denver, Church of All Sinners and Saints. She asked this group of, I think she was preaching to a crowd of maybe 500. You know how you have your real self, and then you have your ideal self? Like here I am, but there's another version of me, taller, I go for taller, 10 pounds thinner, less cellulite, no road rage, doesn't play so many stupid video games on her phone, and keeps up with her taxes through the year. Nadia and I, yep. Maybe I won't have an extension this year. And here we all are, dancing around our idols of perfection, a golden calf, the perfect policy manual, every room reset perfectly, every implement in the kitchen in the right drawer. I know I'm going into dangerous territory. I'm pre-fired. The thing is, we can't hate ourselves into becoming the people we want to be. And ultimately, under that quest for perfection, there's some desire for excellence, and that's a really good thing. But when it has a yucky feeling inside, there's a certain degree of shame and hate. And there's no amount of being perfect that will keep bad things from happening. There is no amount of goodness or doing it right that will keep a minister for decades into their 150th year. There's no way to do that. Kintsugi is a Japanese art, broken pottery mended with gold. Legend has it may have started when a Japanese ruler dropped a precious bowl. And he sent it back to China to get it fixed. And it came back repaired, but it was held together with ugly metal staples. That would not do. So, take two. He asked the craftsman not only to fix it, but to make it more beautiful than it started. So they mended it with gold. In kintsugi, brokenness is not the end of an object's usefulness. Brokenness is a critical moment in that object's history. Our moments of breaking are not the end, they are critical moments. There can be new purpose, there can be new beauty. It's different than resilience. It's not about returning to a perfect original form. It's that we may become different in a different, beautiful, and unique way than when we started. It's when we find ourselves with money troubles. We don't like to talk about money troubles in our culture, in upper middle class culture. I grew up in a blue-collar family. We talk about money troubles all the time. Tantruming children, also not really good, reflects poorly on me as a parent. Or so I thought. You can only control so much in another human being. Caring for loved ones, slowly slipping away as they lose their memory. Family pressures, failing health, depression, other mental illness, addiction, fear, loss, failure, mortality. It's when we crack and break that it's okay to not be okay. There are no simple answers. This doesn't make it feel any better. I don't believe in redemptive suffering. There's not necessarily superpowers that come with challenges. We want to tie that up with a bow and make it seem all perfect. It's not. But in the Ark of the Covenant and in the human heart, brokenness and wholeness live side by side. That truth can set us free. Writer and poet Rabindranath Tagore says, "When I stand before thee at the day's end, thou shalt see my scars and know that I have had my wounds and also my healing. may we be mended with gold. Amen.
I'm like one of those Japanese bowls that were made long ago. I have some cracks in me. They have been filled with gold. That's what they used back then when they had a bowl to mend. It did not hide the cracks. It made them shine instead. So now every gold scar shows from every time I broke, and anyone's eyes can see I'm not what I used to be, but in a collector's mind, all of these jagged lines make me more beautiful and worth a much higher price. I'm like one of those Japanese bowls. I was made long ago. I have some cracks you can see. See how they shine of gold. See how they shine. They shine of gold.
Part of my work here in these next 6 months with y'all is to work on being comfortable, being uncomfortable, but also to reflect back to you how you shine of gold, because I don't think y'all see it. As a spiritual community, we set time aside each week to honor the circle of life. We share our sorrows that together our burdens may be lightened. We share our joys that together our gladness may be multiplied. And on this morning, I want to acknowledge the bittersweet ending of Reverend Lydia's ministry, the 16-year cycle of ministerial life here in this fellowship, which is made particularly pointed because I am here. And in this in-between time, we may carry anxiety, excitement, uncertainty, confusion, hope. This fellowship is large enough to hold all of those feelings, ease and unease, sorrows and joys. This morning, we celebrate the life and mourn the death of Dave Leonard, who passed away yesterday morning. Dave was the chair of Reverend Lydia's search committee, and in some ways represented an era in this fellowship, another marker of the last season of ministry in the circle of life in this community. May we honor his life, his legacy, and hold his family in our hearts. His service will be here Saturday, February 17th at 2 p.m. And now, I invite you into this time of community connection, of sacred sharing, of the joys and concerns of our lives. Wherever you may be, tell us your name and where you live. If you are on Zoom and you'd like to share a joy or concern, please type a message to everyone in the chat window and let us know briefly where your heart is today, and I'll read out loud what you share. And Gloria will add a stone to our waters on your behalf. If you're here in the sanctuary physically, I invite you to come up front, share your joy or concern using the microphone, hold it straight out in front of you like a rock star so we can hear you, and add a stone to these waters. You may also add a stone in silence. We add one last stone for the joys and concerns that remain in the silent sanctuaries of our hearts, where wholeness and brokenness live side by side. In sound and silence both, when we're together and apart, we are bound together by forces we create, by forces beyond ourselves, in the cycle of life and all that is. Our words for meditation and prayer this morning are from Jane Hirschfield, For What Binds Us. There are names for what binds us. Strong forces, weak forces. Look around, you can see them. The skin that forms in a half-empty cup, nails rusting into the places they join, joints dovetailed on their own weight. The way things stay so solidly wherever they've been set down, and gravity, scientists say, is weak. And see how the flesh grows back across a wound with great vehemence, more strong than the simple, untested surface before. There is a name for it on horses when it comes back darker and raised. Proud flesh. All flesh is proud of its wounds, wears them, as honors given out after battle, small triumphs penned to the chest. And when two people have loved each other, see how it is like a scar between their bodies, stronger, darker, proud, how the black cord makes of them a single fabric that nothing can tear or mend.
We're going to sing together one more time. This is number 1002 in your teal hymnal, Comfort Me. We're going to change the word on verse 3. Rather than singing Speak for Me, we're going to sing Shine with Me today. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing 1002.
So we have a few announcements about things that are happening or not happening today. After the service, everybody is invited to a reception in Fellowship Hall to welcome and meet Reverend Terry. The Committee on Shared Ministries has organized this event And I saw the food in the kitchen, and there's a charcuterie board and fruits and vegetables and cake, and it looks wonderful. Because of that reception, there will be no Inquirer's service today. That series will resume next week with a focus on the fellowship's social justice activities. For more information about that series, you can stop by the welcome table in the foyer. And just a reminder again that Together Colorado's Boulder County Community Unity Celebration is here today at 2 o'clock, and everyone's welcome. Finally, our spring concert season is about to start. And it sounds like a wonderful and varied lineup of artists over the next few months. 2 weeks from today, on February 18th at 3 o'clock, the String Chamber Ensemble Sphere, which is one of the most dynamic string ensembles in the area, will provide a variety of classical, jazz, and some pop arrangements, including St. Saëns' Carnival of the Animals, which is going to take you on a journey for an animal-themed concert. It says the concert is great for all ages. There are discounted tickets for fellowship members, a student rate, and a child rate. So to buy tickets or get more information, you can see the Connections Weekly or go to the BVUUF website or take one of these flyers, which is on the welcome table, and it's also on the music bulletin board outside Fellowship Hall. So here's where you'll see what the additional concerts are that are coming up in March or April. So those are the announcements for today.
Here in this sanctuary and Zoom friends in the sanctuary of your homes, we extinguish this chalice, but not the warmth of love, the light of truth, nor the energy of action. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again. I invite you, as you feel so moved, to connect with the person next to you, hands or elbows, or give yourself a big hug. We are connected to one another in ways both seen and unseen. And as you go forth from this place and into the week, may you be blessed and be a blessing to the world. Go forth in peace. Amen.